Hi everyone, my name's Catherine. If you're new here, welcome to the channel, and if you're a subscriber, thank you so much for your support. Okay, so I have coloured a couple of these in here already. I'm really enjoying this book, and actually I'm colouring it alongside Atlas, and I'm doing, some sort of project where I'm pairing the two together, if there are options to do that. So I thought we'd just do a bit of a colouring chat together. I have some time that I didn't know I had. I had gone out to yoga, and when I got there, nobody came. So apparently yoga's not on. So I've come back. So that's that. So I'm just using these cheap markers from Deco Time that I just get from B&M, which is a cheap shop in England, but I really like them, so I'm going to use these. I've been meaning to do a colour and chat all year. That sounds really well, doesn't it? All year. But it just hasn't happened. I just haven't had the energy all the time. So I have been to the doctors recently about my fatigue level. So last week especially was bad, where I was barely functioning, and I'm at the point where I'm going to phone in work sick because I just can't cope. And what's been weird is some of the time where I've been struggling with the fatigue, my sleeping has been all right, really. So I have insomnia, which means that I have regular sleep issues. So sometimes I can't get to sleep. Sometimes I wake up in the night and then I can't get back to sleep. So I have a variety of things going on, which is great. And that's been going on for like a really long time. So yeah, so my sleep isn't the best, and because I quite often don't sleep, when I do sleep I need like 10 hours a night, something like that, something ridiculous like that, which is hard to get when you work full time. So inevitably I'm always sleep fatigued. Now, it says lime yellow, medium green, green, dark green. And I don't have that many colours that are that different. Well, I suppose I could do. You see, I could do that, but then my dark green is going to be like really dark green, you see, because I don't really have anything in between these two. And these are all so similar that they don't really show up. So what I have been doing, and then this is so pale you can't really see it. So what I have been doing is just 2 and 3 the same colour. So that's what I've ended up doing, rather than being bothered to get another set of pens out. Oh, that's really bad. But that's the truth of the matter. So I'm just doing 2 and 3 the same colour. I would perhaps change my mind on that if 2 and 3 were going to be next to each other a lot. Then I'd think, oh no, I don't want that. But quite often that doesn't seem to be a big issue, so that's what we're having. So there you go. So some of the times when I've been struggling with my fatigue, actually my sleep has been okay, as far as I can tell. I have slept, I haven't woken up in the night, you know, and I've slept through. So without doing some sort of sleep study or something, I would say my sleep had been good. But even when I do sleep, when I wake up, I don't feel particularly refreshed. So, yeah. So I've been to the doctors about the fatigue. They've done blood tests. They've come back that my vitamin D is low. But, you know, it's early February in England. Everybody's vitamin D is low. So I had already started taking a vitamin D supplement before I went to the doctors, like a few days before, to try and assist with that. That obviously takes a month or so for that to start to have an effect, so that won't have shown up in my bloods. So that could be right, that's what's wrong. But I don't know. I would love for me to just take vitamin D and that to fix the whole thing. I would love for that to be the answer. But I'm just not convinced that is going to be the situation. You know, that it's going to be such an easy fix. I really want it to be that easy a fix, but I just don't think it will be. So, we'll see. I'm also having therapy for the insomnia, so fingers crossed with that. Because as I'm getting older, it's getting harder. So, like I say, this has been going on 20 years or something. I slept all right when I was little, but that's like the last I remember of sleep not being an issue. So yeah, so when I was younger, I was still struggling with my sleep, but I worked full time. I had 3 jobs, you know, and I was tired, but I could do it. It was achievable. But now that I'm older, I'm really feeling it. And some days it's just too much. It's just too much. So yeah, fingers crossed it gets fixed or improves dramatically. So yeah. Considering most of these images are like symmetrical, I still managed to colour something on this side and miss it on the other side. That shouldn't be possible really, should it? Because you've basically just had the answer, but I do seem to be able to achieve the unachievable. So, I don't know as that I have a lot of news really, considering how long it's been. I am going to be a bridesmaid at my cousin's wedding, which is like super exciting. I've never been a bridesmaid before, and I don't really have anyone close to me that I thought would want me to be a bridesmaid. I thought I would never be a bridesmaid. You know, which out of things in the world to be upset about, that's pretty low down, isn't it? So, you know, it's just one of those things. So when she asked me, I was so excited. So we went dress shopping at the weekend, and I think we may have found the dress, so that's really good. He proposed on New Year's Eve, and they're getting married in October, so that's going to come round so quick. So yeah, very excited. So no doubt you will hear more news about that going along. Trying to be logical about how I colour it so that I don't miss things, but I don't think it matters what I do. I'm still going to miss something, aren't I? So we'll just go for it. So I will be doing some colouring book collection videos coming up. I just haven't totally decided in my mind what I want to do. Perhaps you can let me know in the comments what you would like to see. So I never went through my digital collection, so I can do that separately by itself, or when I do my other collections I can just add that in, you know. So all the things are the same topics. It doesn't matter if they're physical books or digital books. I'll show them together. Does that make sense? So I can do digital separately or as part of the collection. I can just straight go through the collection, so there's an updated version of it. Or I can link it to events. So rather than just plodding through the collection in order of what it is on my shelf, I could start with, these are all my Valentine's Day books, and do it like that instead, and like group them together in themes rather than doing half an hour, an hour's worth of just straight going through the books. So I've got a few ideas like that going around my head. I haven't settled on an idea yet. So that is something going through my mind. So feel free to let me know what your preference would be. I also plan on sharing my sticker collection. That's also on the list of things to do. So if you're interested in that, keep your eyes peeled. I'm going to go through the books that I've got, but then I'm also going to go through just what stickers I've accumulated over time, because I've got quite a few. You know, when you just get a sticker sheet from somewhere, I've got a few of them going on, so I'll also show them. Just seeing some twos that I've missed. These flowers here are a little bit of a nightmare. I don't think you can see from that distance, but each one of these flowers, the petals are all different numbers and each flower is different, so it's just in terms of not missing anything, it's a disaster. Okay, so one downside with these pens is that you can't put the lid on the end. So that's frustrating. These are really nice pens to colour with though, considering they're just cheap. They don't yellow the pages, so obviously that's a winner. But the nibs are really smooth, they're not scratchy. Like, I've really noticed how scratchy Sharpies can be. You know, which is disappointing really, isn't it? And these aren't scratchy at all. So I really enjoy using them. Still trying to use up all of the alcohol and permanent markers that I've got. But it's just so miserable not enjoying going through them, to be honest with you. So I gave in and bought this set. So this set that I'm using now is 100. It's an 100 set, and it was £30. So, you know, it's a good price. I'm mostly using the bullet nib, because these spaces are quite small on this one. But the other end is a brush nib, and that's really nice as well. But yeah, when these start running out, I shall have to start replacing them with the other ones again. And go back to that. Trying to use some more of them up. Okay. Any more 7s? I think I've missed a number 4, but I got it on this side. Do you see what I mean? How is that possible? I'm not seeing any there. Dark red. I'm torn about whether to keep buying Sharpies or not. Really, I'm not sure. Part of that question is whether these pens will continue to be available, because somewhere like B&M, they won't necessarily stock something forever. So at some point they might disappear. I just want to find something that I'm happy with and then just have that forever and ever. I don't want to have lots of different sets of things. All over the place. Now, I don't have any exciting cat news at all. Saffron is good. We did go to the vets a week or so ago just to check up on her, how she's doing since she's been diagnosed with chronic kidney disease. The vet was very happy with her. She's going back for a blood test end of the month. But her weight is nice and stable. Because I was really worried about that. Because she enjoys food a lot. And then she had to go on to this special diet. And there's only 2 flavours in the special diet. And I was worried that... I know that she was eating, but I was worried that she wasn't eating well enough. But her weight is completely stable, so that's fab. She has got a lump under her eye. I don't know what that is. The vet gave it a poke. She doesn't know what it is either. But it's not affecting her. She's just looking at me. She knows I'm talking about her. It's not affecting her at all, and she's had it for about 2 months now and it hasn't grown. So rather than put her through some horrific procedure right next to her eyeball, we're just going to see how she goes. But she doesn't mess with it. So apparently it's not a problem. Saffron says it's not a problem. So there you go. It's not a problem. It's not a big lump. You can't see it. I don't want you thinking she's got this massive growth under her eye. It is very small, but it is definitely there. I feel like you want to jab it with something and get it out. So that's Saffron news. Oh, got a holiday booked in March. We're going to go to Greece. We're going to go to Athens, which I'm really excited about because I really like ancient history. So I want to go and see like the Acropolis and all of that sort of good stuff. I want to go and do all that. Also, there's a beach relatively nearby because I do like going to the seaside. I associate the seaside with holidays, so I want to do that as well. So we're going to do all that. There's some museums and an art gallery, so we're going to do that as well, because Mark likes art galleries and I enjoy art galleries as well, so we're going to do that too. What am I doing? Number 9. So we're just trying to work out who's going to babysit Saffron while we're gone, because my mum isn't able to do it anymore. So that leaves Mark's parents or my dad. So we're just fighting it out as to who's going to do what. Oh, I've missed a number 8. It does drive me slightly mad. Okay, now number 10, on to number 11, which is brown. Which, what does that mean? Is that the dark brown? Yes, so brown means dark brown. Number 11. Oh, that's all these. Oh, I haven't done this. Oh my goodness. Okay, so get the brush nib out now for these larger areas. Right, we're away. Number 11. So I always get the premium paper for these books. I didn't used to. I used to just get the cheaper paper, but actually it really makes a difference. When you're colouring it, it really makes a difference. So I decided that it was worth it to me. I'm normally do things as cheap as I can, because I've only got so much money, so I need it to go as far as possible. Come home from guides last night and Mark was really upset because somebody has hit our house again. That's right, again. So if you don't know this story, story of woe, I will tell you. So our street, it's only a little street, it's a cul-de-sac of 7 houses, and there's no pavements. Okay, there's no pavements. Just to give you an idea. I mean, it's fine. Like I say, it's only 7 houses. Anyway, sometimes when the neighbours order their food shopping to be delivered, sometimes those delivery drivers apparently are inconsiderate idiots. So I am not blaming the neighbours at all. How can it possibly be their fault? You order something and it's delivered. That's right, Saffron. I know. See, Saffron's upset by it. So it's not the neighbour's fault, obviously. But our house has been hit 3 times in the past by supermarket delivery vans. Now, look, we have had in this street sofas delivered, beds, you know, the bin collectors come every week. They, in their massive vehicles, do not hit our house. But the supermarket delivery vans apparently do. So we've been hit 3 times. One of the times they... See, I live in a bungalow, so they hit the corner of the roof, and that broke the hip tiles, and we had to have new hip tiles. And obviously the supermarket paid for that. So then Mr. B had a bollard fitted, which is just outside where that bollard, where the corner of the roof is. So you hit the bollard before you hit my roof. So he had that fitted. I think it might be more than 3 times, you know, now. So we had that fitted. And then he stole one of the neighbours' for sale signs. That sounds terrible. So one of the neighbours' properties, they moved in. 2 years later, the for sale sign is still up. So Mark stole it. I complained about it all the time. I was just so sick of seeing it. Anyway, so he stole it. Nobody cares. And he's used that to write a sign saying, if you're delivering, you know, don't do this because you'll crash into our house. And yeah, it's just, it's not enough. It's not enough. One time, one of the neighbours' relatives got their caravan stuck. They didn't hit the house, but they got it wedged, and Mark had to go out and blinking help him with it. Flipping ridiculous. Drives you mad, I can't tell you. Anyway, so last night I come home from guides and Mark's upset. What's happened? Somebody's hit the bollard. So the bollard is now loose in the ground, because obviously it was concreted in. So it's loose in the ground, and there is a massive chunk missing out of it. Now, what these people don't realise or don't care is that we've got a camera looking at the bollard. Because, and this is why I say they're inconsiderate, because these, and it's different people every time. It's not one person, like. These people, they hit the bollard and then they leg it. They leg it one. One time, I think it was the time when they actually hit the roof, Mark went out and stopped them leaving. Because obviously somebody hits your house, you not only do you hear it, you feel it. So we managed to go out and intercept them and be like, what do you think you're doing? Where do you think you're going? You can't just hit my house and leg it and think you're going to get away with that. So, yeah. So we're just going through that joy again. I don't know, it really drives you. It really drives you a bit loopy. Now, You may have seen that I just coloured straight over on the fish with the cream. Well, I'm going to do that with these flowers as well, because the middle of the flowers is dark pink. So I'm just going to colour straight over like this, rather than faffing about going round. Going around dots is something that I don't like doing in colouring. Just winds me up. Winds me up. Okay, is that all the 14s? I'm going with yes, we're moving on. I'm going to let those dry. I'm not sure if it matters or not, but I am. I'm going to let them dry before I go over them. No, that's a 19. Well, that's dark blue, so that'll be okay. Saffron sat next to me now. I don't think you'll be able to see it. I'll have to move the camera and show you. Let's have a look. There she is. Yeah, she's got her back to me, you know, ignorant. Ignorant. No, she's not. You're not, Saffron, you're a good girl. She's had a few tricky moments recently. She's a fluffy girl with fluffy pantaloons. And sometimes the fluffy pantaloons get involved where you don't want pantaloons to get involved. And that results in a phenomenon that in this house we call poo bum. And that's where you then have to drag your bum around the floor to dislodge bits. So that's happened a couple of times this past week. It's a bad time for everyone. It's a bad time for everyone, and sometimes involves in a bit of a clipping session. We've got a set of old hair clippers of Mark's, and they are reserved for Saffron's pantaloons. So that's always a joy when you come home to that. That's, you know, a reason for living, that is, right there. Isn't it, Saffron? She's ignoring me because that's what happened today. This purple is so watery, so faint, but the next purple along is really vibrant. It's too much. What I need to do probably is complement these with some of the Sharpies. That's probably what I need to do. But, you know, is that happening right now? No. What am I doing? 17. Look at these massive things I've missed. I did know they were there and needed doing. Just ignored them. We'll just keep going and then come back to the ones I've missed. Light violet blue. No, I don't know what that's supposed to mean. I mean, I suppose I do know what that's supposed to mean, but I haven't got that colour, I think is what I mean. So I just use this instead, which is... It's not what they meant, but it is a different colour to everything else. So that's what we're having. $19 is dark blue. No note there. These pages are so easy and just relaxing, but they look really pretty when they're done. They colour up fairly fast as well. So if you're not in the mood for thinking, these are really great. Just sit and do some of these. Oh, I didn't do that now. Okay, 21 is the light blue. Okay, and then the last colour on the palette is aqua blue. And then we'll just go and do the ones that I've missed. I do like the brush nibs, the trouble is I'm just not very accurate with them. So normally only use them on big areas. So like these little things down here, no chance. Look, I've missed a 21 there. Okay, let's go backwards then. 21. Was that one? Okay. 15. Dark pink. Dark pinks there, and also all of this. Which the world does not know how I managed to miss. All of that. Okay, have we missed anything else? I think some of those creams didn't get done. Because it's such a stupid colour. I've thought of supplementing it, but then when they tell me to do it for skin, the other colours look terrible. What about 156? 156 might do it. See, I'm doing 203, which is... It's an alright colour for what they're asking for, but doesn't show up very well, does it, Saffron? So I might change over to 156. I don't know. But there we go. There is the finished page. So I've listed this one as Japan. I wish that they'd do a contents, because some of the countries are not that obvious. You know, as an outsider. So, obviously England and Scotland I can spot from a mile away. But then some of the others, I've got an idea of what sort of area we're thinking about. But I don't know if I can absolutely say. Like this, I'm guessing a little bit. Do you know what I mean? They're not as obvious, and I think it would just be nice if they did. So that's obviously Scotland. I don't need to look that up. I know that's Scotland. Okay, but then other ones are harder, and it would just be nice if they had a contents. So there you go. So that's it. We're all done. If you enjoyed this video, please give me and Saffron. Oh, are you doing the outro? Are you? I'm being a good girl. Okay, so if you've enjoyed this video, then please do give me and Saffron a thumbs up. We would love that, wouldn't we, Saffron? Yeah. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye.